So this is our main story, and it's a pretty serious one. And a lot of mixed feelings on this chat. Republicans pull trigger on plan to remove Joe Biden from ballots. So following the Colorado Supreme Court voting 4-3, I think, to have Trump removed from the presidential ballot in Colorado on the basis of insurrection, which is nonsense. The Republican Party thought, well, to complete that game, and started the process of removing Biden from several ballots. Now, Biden actually, there's a much better argument that Biden committed insurrection than that Trump did, because the election was fucking rigged. And if Biden didn't know it, it's only because he was demented. He certainly benefited from it, and everyone around him knew it. He probably did know it himself. I mean, he almost certainly did know it himself. So there is actually a better argument for doing it to Biden. I'm still not, however, fully in favor.
I'm not on board with it either.
No. Let's read a bit of the article and we'll give more deep opinions. Republican lawmakers in 3 swing states have announced their plan to remove President Joe Biden from their state ballots. Aaron Bernstein of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, Cory McGarr of the Arizona House of Representatives, and Charlize Byrd of the Georgia House of Representatives, so that's Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Georgia, released a joint statement on Thursday announcing their plan to remove Biden from the 2024 general election ballots in those 3 states.
Uzalu, could I explain to you why this has happened?
Go on.
All right. I'm going to post a thing in the general chat. This is why. Because 16 states are about to remove Trump from their ballot.
They want to try it.
That's why.
If the Supreme Court backs down and allows this to stand, those 16 states are going to be right in behind Colorado.
Yeah.
So this is
the reason why this is happening is it's not happening in a vacuum. It's happening because 16 states are about to say that outside of Colorado, that 16 additional states are going to say that they're just going to remove Trump from the ballot.
So the term constitutional crisis is thrown around quite a lot, but this has the potential to be a pretty final constitutional crisis. This would essentially be the end of even a rigged democratic system in the US.
Yeah. It's over.
Now,
I think it's already over.
Aiden's not much of a fan of democracy, but still, I don't think the result of this will get you what you want either. If it does go ahead like this.
Oh, fantastic! One-party state system. That's democracy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that is
democracy is one-party state.
The fewer parties there are, the more democratic it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not sure about that. So yeah.
That's what the Democrats say.
Yeah, pretty much. This is pretty bad. Now, I will say that if the Democrats are doing this, the Republicans should, unfortunately, also threaten to, in the same way that you should have nukes when your opponent does, but you still want them to never be used. That's the reason that you have them as well, so that they are never used.
At the same time, here's this as well. 4 states have said that they will not allow anyone other than Biden on the Democrat ballot.
Yeah, that is a slightly different matter, but it's still just as horrific.
But it's related to this entire discussion.
Yeah, but the Democrat Party has always had that fucking internal rigging, right? It's flat out. Like back when I was ages ago, I was supporting Bernie. It's like, no, there was no chance of him getting in. The Democrat Party is rigged such that there's a guaranteed number of people that will always vote Hillary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the Democrats are saying that in at least 4 states, you can only vote for Biden if you're a Democrat. You can only vote for Biden. He is the only candidate in the Democrat primaries. By the way, you can only vote for Biden. He's the only candidate. And there are also now 16 states saying they want to remove Trump from the ballot altogether. Yep. And this is all in the name of democracy. Love it.
Yeah. That being an obvious lie. Soldner says, but do you just sit there doing nothing when the other guy starts lobbing his nukes first? Honestly, that's a real tough one. You've got to give every single appearance that you will nuke the other guy when it happens. But if you have the choice between half the world is wiped out or the entire world is wiped out, that's a tough decision to make. Still, If the Democrats start doing it and the Republicans retaliate, I don't have a better answer. I don't have a better answer for that. If they start getting away with it to remove Trump from states and the Republicans do the same thing to Biden, like, that's way better for the Democrats, by the way, because Trump is our best hope, whereas Biden is the worst shit they could drag out that will still obey them doggedly. They could find someone to replace Biden, but replacing Trump is a lot more difficult. So they would win, ultimately, if that were to happen. And they are the more underhanded, shitty party in terms of their tactics. So there's every chance that they would be able to get Trump out of more states than we'd be able to get Biden out of. So this is not good. This should never happen in a democracy. It is distinctly anti-democratic.
Well, I won't go off on my opinions, but why I think this is inevitable. But yeah, there it is.
It's inevitable in the same sense that corruption is. This is just one flavor it can take. But every system can have it.
If only Trump was king.
If only Trump was president, which he was rightfully, and that's all you would need. But anyway, so you wouldn't want Biden as king.
No, I want Trump as king. Though.
Indeed. The move comes in the wake of the Colorado Supreme Court's 4-3 decision that former President Donald Trump, who is the GOP frontrunner for the 2023, I sort of explained all this already. We already know what happened in that story. I won't go over it again. There's also some more background here. There's actually a lot less primary material in this than I expected. Maybe the background's over, actually. Yeah, okay, never mind. The three Republican lawmakers argued on Thursday that if Trump can be barred from the state ballot, then his likely opponent Biden should get the same treatment. Quote, today we are joining forces to introduce legislation to remove Joe Biden from the ballot in Georgia, Arizona, and Pennsylvania, the lawmakers said in a press release obtained by Newsweek. The absurdity of radical Democrat judges removing Donald Trump from the ballot in Colorado will be a stain on the American political system for decades. By their very own interpretation of the law, Joe Biden is 100% not eligible to run for political office, the press release read. Democrats' insane justification to remove Trump can just as easily be applied to Joe Biden for his insurrection at the southern border, which you could argue that is a sort of insurrection, though I'm not sure I'd say that's a good match, but fuck it, it's better than the Democrats have.
Who cares?
It's better than the Democrats have for Trump.
Yeah.
And his alleged corrupt family business dealings with China. That is a nice way to put it. But yes, selling power is treason. And he's president doing it.
All he's ever done.
It's all he's done.
His entire political, not just now. This is China. He sold it to Ukraine. He sold it for the last 40 fucking years. He sold his political positions to foreign governments. He's done that. It's been like the amount of evidence of that. It's insurmountable.
Yeah. So the southern border situation, I wouldn't say it's an insurrection, but you could probably argue it's treason.
Why? If you're gonna say Jan 6s, then go ahead.
Well, exactly. But if we're being honest about what it really is, Jan 6 obviously isn't. Jan 6 was a fucking setup. But even then, the southern border is more so treason than insurrection. The corrupt family business, dealings with China, selling power, treason, not insurrection. The rigged election, insurrection. Biden has been criticized for the massive influx of migrants. I won't go over that again. We already kind of know that. The president has also been under scrutiny by the Republican-held House Oversight Committee that has been leading an impeachment inquiry into Biden. Biden's been accused of being involved in and benefiting from his son Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings, which is all true, as you said, in 40 years of fucking selling power.
That's not a.
It's barely in dispute at any moment. It is fought in that 40 years now. The Republican lawmakers concluded in a press release, Colorado radicals just changed the game, and we are not going to sit quietly while they destroy our republic. To be clear, our objective is to showcase the absurdity of Colorado's decision and allow all candidates to be on the ballot in all states. Good. You're doing it for principled reasons. Still a little uneasy that you're doing it, but I'm very glad that you see that this is not just a valid retaliation, that you are doing it to demonstrate the absurdity in a sort of a mutually assured destruction way. That is the right way to do it. Very
then
unhappy that it has to be done in the first place, but
I'm unhappy as well that it has to happen. But unfortunately, it must. It must happen. If Colorado is going to say that we will not allow Donald Trump on the ballot because of X, Y, Z reasons, then every other state in the union should say we won't allow Joe Biden on the fucking ballot. For the same goddamn, we can come up with any reasons we want. If this is how we're going to run things, I'll put it this way: the Republic is over. In the United States, it's over. Like it's been over since Joe Biden was elected the first time. It's over. There is no more republic. It's done. This is a totalitarian system. Sorry, just the truth. But if you're gonna keep playing games, this is a game you have to play.
I respectfully disagree. I can see where you're coming from. I don't think it's over, but the current state is highly corrupt.
I'm a bit more.
I know.
I'm a bit more.
I think it is retrievable. 2016 was a good indication that it is in principle retrievable. Things have got worse since then, but also our side has got stronger since then, so it's not over. But we are at risk of it being over. We are at risk of it being irretrievable. I understand why you think it is.
Well, again, if 16 states ban Trump from being able to even run, they ban him from being on the ballot.
If that happens and that goes through, yes, that might indeed be irretrievable.
Yeah, I don't know how you come back from that. If 16 states say, no, you're only allowed to vote for Joe Biden. He is the only presidential candidate that you can vote for. How are we different from North Korea? That would be the question. And I can't wait to see the Democrats, the Dem Simps on Twitter explain it. Explain it to me. Explain me. Tell me how that's actually democracy. It's democracy is when only there's one option. That's real democracy. I'm sure they're going to tell you. They'll tell us all why that's real democracy. I can't wait to see it though.
So the Colorado one, not sure about the others, but the Colorado one was, just to add to what you're saying as well, the Colorado one was timed so that it would affect the primaries. So in actuality, it wouldn't be, and this is arguably even more insidious. In actuality, it wouldn't be just Biden, Biden and the Libertarians. It would be Biden versus the Republican Party forced to say, look, Trump can't win in these 16 states. We have to run someone else. We don't like it, but we have to. That's, I think, what the Democrats were going for. Having him destroyed by his own party, which is a hugely insidious thing to do, even on top of how insidious this already is. But that's what they would want. They would want a fucking the military-industrial complex woman, or fat man, or maybe even they'd take DeSantis over Trump. I think that's what they would prefer. They would prefer to have that veneer of democracy.
Yes, because they control. They control DeSantis. They control
I'm not
DeSantis.
Sure
that's
about
why.
that, but they seem to.
I think they do.
It seems DeSantis is less our guy than he should be. But still, even then, he's doing great in Florida, and he did great against Newsom. He's just doing really badly in the presidential run.
He did good in Florida.
It's true. I'm not sure if he still is. He might be. Yeah. So, that's that story, chat.